Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Hometown Musician Spotlight. Tonight, we're coming to you from the Austin Community Tavern in Steger, Illinois, where my guest, artist, songwriter, and sound tech, Dave Petersen, is performing. Thanks for being here, Dave.
Thanks, Paul.
Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for having me.
Yeah, it's going to be a big night here. Hey, Dave, before we get into the big night, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where were you born? Where'd you grow up?
Grew up in Dalton, behind Elmar Plaza.
Mm-hmm.
Went to St. Jude School for grade school. Went to Thornridge High School.
Mm-hmm.
Went to U of I for college.
Mm-hmm.
And married my high school sweetheart, who will be here tonight. She's going to be my marketing manager tonight, selling CDs. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any other merch, just some CDs.
I'll be buying tonight, by the
All
way.
right.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah, we got our original CD that came out January last year, and we got a brand new one that's coming out now.
Yeah.
Got some on hand, and hits the digital marketplace in a couple of weeks.
Great. Can you point back to a time or recollect a time in your life when you were younger when maybe or was there a musical influence, whether it be a person or event, where you kind of felt like the music bug kind of hit you?
It hit me early, not so much from playing, but from just loving music.
Yeah.
And I haven't even thought about this until now. I had some money to burn, went to Hegwish Records, and my brother says, you got to get that Robin Trower, Bridge of Sighs album.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, never heard of the guy, So I got it, brought it home, and I'm like, holy shit, this is some good stuff, So I got turned on to Robin Trower early.
Mm-hmm.
And then I used to hang around with a kid in grade school, probably in 7th grade, was over at his house after school one day, and he pulled a guitar out from under his sister's bed. It was a Honda Mustang, a Fender Mustang.
Mm-hmm.
And see, there's the first screw up for the Honda Mustang. They're not making guitars as far as I know. It was a Fender Mustang, and I started tinkering with it. Never played a guitar, and just started hitting the notes on the frets, and all of a sudden I'm doing like everybody, a little bit of Smoke on the Water.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's pretty cool. I didn't know I could do that. So I pretty much taught myself playing by ear, can't read a note.
Yeah.
Kind of learned from Frank when we play with Frank, he's always showing me something.
Yeah.
But so kind of got into guitar that way. Always liked music. Was thinking about another story. Maybe this kind of was the precursor to my sound guy thing. But was home by myself one day, had a couple of speakers, a stereo that was about 100 watt per channel, old speaker, old stereo with a turntable, and nobody was home. So I took the speakers and I put them on the floor pointing towards each other. And I got a pillow and I laid back on the floor with my head right between the speakers, and I turned it up as far as it could go.
Sounds like a
And
Memorex commercial.
and I was
to me.
listening to Live Kiss, right? And my mom and my brother came home and they're like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, rock it out,
Oh.
So I don't know, it started early. I always loved music. Never really got in a band until way out of college. Started really just playing solo acoustic by myself, maybe around the campfire, on hunting trips and stuff like that. I don't know if you ever heard of Brian's Place in Monee.
Yes.
I used to work at ComEd across the kitty corner from Brian's Place. Brought my guitar there one night and just played a solo acoustic show. First time playing live, and I got hooked. That was probably in the late '80s maybe. And then started, kept playing Brian's Place, and then a buddy of mine says, hey, I hear you're playing Brian's Place. Mind if I bring my guitar out? I'll just sit in with you. Jeff DeVore.
Oh, okay.
Right? You might know Jeff. So for a while it was me and Jeff DeVore. Another buddy came out to see us one day and says, hey, you mind if I play bass with you guys? I'm like, sure, but I've heard you play guitar. He does Stevie Ray Vaughan and Pink Floyd. I says, you're gonna have to not just play bass. We'll switch off. So it was the three of us, and we did a couple of years. We played Richmond Park Fest with the three of us. Got invited back, and we're like, we need a drummer, So Dave Yacht, Uncle Jam, came out to see us at Brian's Place one time, and we're playing all this country. And we're like, Dave, we need a drummer. We got this fest coming up in April. It's our first fest. We've only played Brian's Place. And he's like, yeah, I'm not really, I don't want to be in a band anymore. So then we were doing all this country, and so then we started doing some Stevie Ray Vaughan, some Pink Floyd, and he comes up and he goes, you play more of that, I'm in.
Yes.
So I played with those guys for 25 years.
Wow.
And we went by Backwoods was the band name. Played around the south suburbs, played a bunch at the old Northwoods when Jeff Friesel was involved. Maybe once every other month or something. We played there, played at the old St. John pub. Yeah. We played, with Uncle Jam, we played at our bar where I
so I had a couple places,
So it kind of evolved over the years.
So before we get to the Brothers Irmaos, one more question. So you're multifaceted with the songwriting and the sound engineering. At this point of your career, what is the most fulfilling part of the music, what you do right now?
Well, probably the writing.
Okay.
And we'll talk a little bit about this Brothers Irmaos thing we got going. And it kind of sounds like Irmaos.
Yes.
Irmaos, it's Portuguese for brothers.
Yes.
Because the guy I write with and record with lives in Brazil. The downside is we can't play live.
Yeah.
Although I did go to Brazil in October and did 3 shows with him. But
how did this all become? I know it was during COVID, right?
Yeah, it started with COVID. But just to kind of close on that, probably the songwriting part. Yeah. So Marcos would send me a song, kind of what we're doing now. He'd send me the music, some guitars and drums and bass with no lyrics.
Yeah.
He doesn't speak English. Okay. Right? So he'll hum a melody for the lyrics and he'll say, hey, can you come up with some lyrics for this? So I listen to it, I get an idea, I write some lyrics, and to this day I don't really know where they come from. I just listen to the song to see what ideas pop in my head, and sometimes they pop into my head easy, sometimes they don't. So probably the most rewarding is listening to a completed song that I wrote the lyrics for. And then the other thing is we put the stuff out there on Spotify and all that, and we've actually been played on the radio in 46 different countries around the world.
And Dave is
not in high quantities, so we're not making any money, but I could track it through some of the apps I got and see where we're being played. So.
And Dave is actually nominated for Songwriter of the Year, Sound Tech of the Year, and your band for Song of the Year.
And Band of the Year.
Yes.
And it's through the International Singer-Songwriter Association.
Okay.
So it's kind of it's an organization that's created to help promote independent artists and just give them a venue or a channel to kind of get their stuff out there. So how it started with this Brothers Irmaos thing was through Rick Crane, bass player, many years, 40-something years with Hazard County. Did a couple of shows with Brent Mason, who's a Nashville session guy, monster guitar player out of Nashville. He's literally recorded on 1,000 hits. Rick did a couple shows with him, and the guy that I'm now partners with on this project, Marcos Parise, out of Brazil, saw some videos on Facebook of Rick playing with Brent Mason. Marcos idolizes Brent Mason. So when he saw these videos of Brent Mason, and he saw Rick Crane, and he saw kind of this mutual friend network, he started sending messages, and it was during COVID, so Brazil was shut down really hard, worse than the US. And what these guys were doing was recording covers, and actually the band they're in down there does all covers of American country, classic country music. So they decided, since they can't play out, they're gonna make a CD, and everybody's gonna record their parts remotely because they can't get together. So they invited Rick to play bass and sing on one of the songs they were going to put on their CD. And Rick approached me and said, hey, this guy Marcos Parise from Brazil, who I don't know, we've been communicating through Facebook and through Instant Messenger, wants me to play bass and sing on a song. He says, I know the song, we do the song. It was an old Vince Gill song that he played, but I think it was another artist that wrote it. But Can't Be Myself, I think, was the name of it. I might have screwed that up, but I think that was it. It's kind of a slow acoustic thing. So Rick's like, I have no idea how to record my parts and get them to Marcos in Brazil. So I'm like, well, I'll reach out to Marcos and find out what he needs, and using the Translate app to kind of message back and forth. And he told me what he needs, and he says, get WeTransfer is a file transferring service like Dropbox and Google Share or whatever.
Yeah.
They use WeTransfer down there. So I recorded Rick's parts, uploaded them, sent them to Marcos.
Yeah.
Marcos did the mix. Then they had another song they needed pedal steel on, and it was an Alan Jackson song. And Rick plays with Nelson Wynn, who's on pedal steel. They've been best buds for 40, 50 years. So I recorded Nelson's pedal steel part for that song. Rick played bass on it, recorded that in my home studio. And then I had posted a couple of solo acoustic videos in my basement, just doing some songs, and they heard those and they're like, well, why don't you play on one of our songs? So we did Every Little Honky Tonk Bar. I sang a duet on that one with Eric Breslau from Brazil. Eric played fiddle, Rick on bass, Nelson on pedal steel. And they came out with a 16-song CD. So we were either, my role was either engineering or performance on some role on 3 of them. Rick and Nelson were on all 3 of them. And then they invited other artists from all over Brazil. So it's a really cool, I should have brought one with me and gave it to you. But it's a cool CD, all covers, classic American country music. And then probably, I think March of 23, I'm actually at Northwoods, the new Northwoods, previous Northwoods, watching Naughty. And I get a message from Marcos, and it's got a song on it. He's like, my brother, I wrote this song. Can you come up with some lyrics? And that was the first song, and I listened to it. And he said, I'd like it to be a love and dedication song about our wives.
Okay.
We can dedicate it to our wives. And I'm listening to the song, and I'm like, this is a sad country song. This is not a love and dedication song. So I came up with a concept that ended up becoming What Went Wrong. And it's about a guy whose relationship fizzles, and he has no idea why. And the line,
which happens so many times.
The line is, what went wrong? What did I do? What went wrong? So that became our first song. And then he kept sending me songs, and then I'd get a song idea. I'd send him a song, and all of a sudden we got 11 songs. And Rick's like, hey, I'd like to do a cover of Working Man Blues. I'm like, all right. So we did that. We hired a pedal steel player out of Nashville, Travis Toy, who actually plays in Luke Bryan's touring band.
Nice.
Multi-instrumentalist. Rick knows him. Got him to play on Working Man Blues. And then Rick had an original that he wrote a long time ago. We recorded that. Tom Willoughby, Pancho, had a song Rick wanted to record. So Rick sings on 3 of the songs on our first CD. And then 8 of them are originals me and Marcos wrote. So, and then we kept coming up, he kept sending me songs, like, here's another one, here's another one. And then I'm pulling off some of my old songs that I recorded years ago that I was never really satisfied, because I really just had less experience with the process. Marcos is such an amazing engineer and mixing engineer. So I says, hey, here's an old song of mine, why don't we record this? So I'd send him that, and he'd come up with it, and it just kind of snowballed. So we actually got 14 songs since our first CD, 3 covers and 11 originals.
Nice.
And he wanted to release them all on one CD. And I says, you know what,
14,
it's too many songs. And he's like, yeah, but Alan Jackson did it. He did like 20 songs.
And if they're only 2 minutes and 33 seconds,
yeah, but it's Alan Jackson. We're not Alan Jackson, So I talked him into releasing, we call it an EP, 7 songs. It's got a cover of Liza Jane, which we just released a couple weeks ago, and it's doing really well on the digital platforms. And then 6 originals. We're going to do a bunch of those tonight. And we got 7 more songs that we saved. We're going to do another CD in December. So
we got to,
just putting the finishing touches on that, and we'll have another one.
Before I forget, because I got a few more fun questions. Before we get, what's the best way to see your music? Spotify. Let us know.
So
the best way.
It's on all of the usual digital platforms, and if you search for Brothers / Irmaos, IRMAOS, Brothers Irmaos, it'll pop up. We also have a website now that I just created. It's Brothers Irmaos, IRMAOS music.com. And that's got links to Spotify, Apple Music, I think Amazon maybe YouTube. So YouTube Music, Amazon Music, Spotify,
Right.
all of those. We're on all of them. So
Okay. Well, birthday boy, happy birthday.
All right.
I got 2 more fun questions
Okay.
for you. So, if you could play any room in the whole world, past or present, that you have not yet played in, what would that room be?
I really don't know because I get pretty anxious
Yeah.
doing this, and I'm glad we're doing this now because
Yeah.
it's kind of breaking the ice for me because I've got anxiety. I don't know if you can relate.
I've
to
heard
that.
a lot of answers from Royal Albert Hall
Yeah.
to Red Rocks to.
You know, I guess Red Rocks, but I saw online and I forgot what the name of this place is, but I think it's in Sweden,
Okay.
and it looks like a quarry.
Okay.
Like Red Rocks is built into
Yeah,
the side of
yeah,
a mountain, but
yeah.
this place is like a quarry.
Uh-huh.
And I've seen, just like last week, I just came across this thing.
Yeah.
I think it might have popped up on Facebook or something. I wish I remember the name of it,
Yeah.
but it's the coolest
All
venue.
right.
It's got the road that winds around like a quarry.
Yeah.
Takes you down into the bottom. There's
Wow.
a lake down there.
Yeah.
There's a stage down there.
Very cool.
It's a really cool
Yeah.
place, but yeah,
All
if
right.
I can get over the nerves.
Yeah. Yeah. And the last question, if you could trade places with any other musician in time, past or present, for a whole weekend, is there anybody you
Man. Well, I guess if I can not just trade places with him, but play like him,
Okay.
I'd say Keith Urban.
Okay. All right.
Because I am not
Yeah.
a shredder. I'm
Yeah.
an acoustic
Yeah.
guy. I can
Right.
do some rhythm,
Yeah.
a couple of leads, but
Yeah.
I think Keith Urban is
Yeah.
a hell of a guitar
Awesome.
player. He's right up there with Frank Weissel.
Yeah. I love Frank,
Yeah,
by the way.
I do too.
He's awesome. Yes. So, all right,
But
brother.
yeah, if I could play
Yeah.
Red Rocks
Yeah.
as Keith
As
Urban,
Keith
that
Urban,
would be
that would
pretty
be-
cool.
it would
That'd be
be-
pretty
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Yeah.
Nicole Kidman comes with the package.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I mean,
Bonus.
yeah. So that's all part of it.
Yeah. All right, Dave. It's been
All
a
right.
real pleasure.
Hey, thanks
I hope
thanks for asking me to do this.
you got it.
Appreciate
I hope you have a great show tonight. Then.
Thanks.
Well, that's going to wrap it up for this edition of the Hometown Musician Spotlight. And until next time, peace, everybody.
Peace, everybody.